Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. This guide has been put together by the experts at ProTax Accountant to help you navigate one of the biggest tax changes in years. A huge overhaul to business rates is coming this April, and frankly, understanding it is non-negotiable for your business. We're going to cut through all the jargon and explore what you, as a UK entrepreneur, really need to know for 2026. So let me just ask you straight up, is your business ready for what's happening on April 1st, 2026? Because that's exactly what this is, a revolution. A massive shift is coming that's going to affect over 2 million businesses across the UK. Getting your head around it now isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely crucial for your bottom line. So let's dive in and break down what's heading your way. We've broken this down into 5 clear sections to give you a complete roadmap. We'll start with the big picture. Then we'll look at the nuts and bolts of the new calculation system. After that, we'll cover the financial safety nets that are in place, your brand new legal duties, and you'll want to pay close attention to that one. And we'll finish up with a clear, practical action plan. All right, first things first, let's get to grips with the basics of this overhaul. This isn't just a minor tweak here and there. This represents the most significant shakeup of the business rate system we've seen in years. So what does that actually mean? Well, in simple terms, the Valuation Office Agency, or the VOA, is recalculating your property's rateable value. Think of it like this. It's their best guess of what your property's annual rent would be on a specific date, in this case, April 1st, 2024. This new number is the foundation they'll use to work out your tax bill from April 2026. The sheer scale of this is just staggering. We are talking about more than 2 million properties. This isn't just a minor adjustment. It affects pretty much everyone, from your local high street shop to a massive industrial warehouse. But the real game changer, the thing that's really going to make a difference, is how your bill is now calculated. The old, relatively simple system? It's gone. Forget about it. The government is bringing in a much more nuanced 5-tier multiplier system. And you absolutely need to understand this to have any chance of forecasting your future costs accurately. So we're basically moving from a simple 2-lane road to a 5-lane motorway. It's all designed to give some permanent, targeted relief to businesses on the high street, specifically those in retail, hospitality, and leisure, or RHL, as you'll see it called, while at the same time increasing the tax burden on the very biggest properties. Okay, now this table is where the rubber really meets the road. You can see the government strategy in action right here. So, if you run a small cafe with a rateable value under 51 grand, you'll get to use that lowest 38.2p rate. But if you run a small accountancy office with the exact same value, you'll be on the higher 43.2p rate. It's a clear signal that they're backing the high street, and it's vital you know which bucket your business falls into. Let's make this real for a second. Imagine Maria. She runs a lovely coffee shop down in Bristol, and its rateable value is £20,000. As an RHL business, her bill gets calculated using that low 38.2p rate, which comes out to £7,640 before any reliefs. Now let's take Ben. He has a small industrial unit up in Leeds with the exact same $20,000 value, but he isn't in the RHL sector, so he has to use the 43.2p rate. His bill? £8,640. That's £1,000 difference for the exact same value property. Now, I know what you're thinking. A big jump in your property's valuation sounds pretty scary, right? But hold on, don't panic just yet. The government has built in a couple of safety nets to cushion the blow and stop any sudden dramatic bill hikes. Stay with me here. The next point might actually surprise you. This is your first line of defense. Think of it like a financial shock absorber. It's designed specifically to prevent those sudden, heart-stopping bill increases by phasing them in gradually, giving you time to adjust your budgets. It works in stages, with the most protection being offered to the smallest businesses. So for this first year, from April all the way to 2027, your bill cannot jump by more than these percentages. It doesn't matter how much your underlying valuation went up. It's all about providing some level of predictability, especially for smaller businesses who are obviously the most vulnerable to sharp cost increases. But that's not all. And here's where most people go wrong. They focus only on this transitional relief, and they totally forget about the second safety net. And this one is arguably even more important for the smallest businesses who might be losing other kinds of support. This scheme is absolutely crucial. It's been expanded for 2026, and it's specifically designed to help those businesses who, because of this big revaluation, are suddenly losing their eligibility for things like small business rate relief or rural rate relief. It's a really vital cushion. So here's the key takeaway. If you're a small business that's losing these valuable reliefs, your annual bill increase will be capped at just £800. This provides a huge amount of certainty, and for the businesses that applies to, it's probably even more valuable than the transitional release scheme. Okay, now let's build on that. This next part is a brand new legal responsibility for every single business owner out there, and trust me, getting this wrong could be a very costly mistake indeed. This is a fundamental change in the relationship between you and the VOA. The old days of just passively waiting for them to send you an assessment, well, they're over. From this April, the responsibility, the onus, is on you to report any changes proactively. And the scope of what you have to report is incredibly broad. We're talking everything from installing a new air conditioning unit to renewing a lease agreement. You even have to make an annual declaration just to confirm that the information the VOA holds is still correct. It's a significant new piece of admin that you're going to have to manage. And if you're thinking, oh, is it really that big a deal? Well, this table brilliantly illustrates just how seriously they're taking these new rules. The penalties are significant. A simple failure to notify them within 60 days could land you with a fine of at least £900. It's absolutely vital to have systems in place ready to handle this new duty. Okay, so with all these changes coming down the track, you're probably asking yourself, what on earth should I be doing right now to prepare? Well, don't worry. Here is your clear, step-by-step action plan. This timeline is your guide for the next few months. Now, the Valuation Office published the draft values back in late 2025, so those figures are already out there for you to check. But I want you to circle, highlight, and put a big star next to that March 31st deadline. It is way more important than you might think. Let me just repeat that because this is so important. If you believe you have been overpaying on your rates at any point since April 2023, you have until the end of this March to appeal it and claim that money back. After that date, the window closes forever. This is your absolute last chance to secure what could be pretty significant refunds from the current system. Okay, before we wrap up, it's really important to say this. This is a very complex area of tax law. And while we've covered the key points today, all of this information is for general guidance only. Before you make any financial decisions based on what we've talked about, you absolutely must consult a qualified tax expert. The team at Pro Tax Accountant is ready and waiting to help you navigate these complex changes, check your new valuation, and make sure you're not overpaying a penny more than you have to. Reach out to them for tailored advice that fits your specific situation. And of course, be sure to subscribe to their channel for more essential business and tax insights just like this one. Thanks for watching.